My mother-in-law copied my house key 3 times. I caught her on camera trying to break in. $700 to change every lock. Worth every penny. Let me back up. 4 months ago, my husband Jake and I bought our first house. Small ranch in the suburbs. Nothing fancy, but it had a yard and a mortgage we could actually afford. I cried when we got the keys. Happy tears. Finally, a place that was ours. Jake's mom Diane came over the day we moved in. She walked through every room, shoes on, tracking mud across floors I'd just cleaned, opening cabinets, testing faucets, running her fingers along windowsills to check for dust. It's smaller than I pictured, she said, standing in our kitchen. Our kitchen. And this layout, she shook her head. Whoever designed this didn't know what they were doing. I was carrying a box of dishes. Heavy, my arms shaking. We love it, I said. Well, she smiled. The kind that doesn't reach the eyes. You'll learn. Jake was outside unloading the truck. Didn't hear any of it. Or maybe he did, and just didn't want to deal with it. That's usually how it goes with him and his mother. The next day she called. I'd like a spare key, just in case. I was exhausted. Boxes everywhere. Nothing put away. We have AAA if we lock ourselves out, I said, balancing the phone between my shoulder and ear while I unpacked wine glasses. That's not what I mean, honey. Her voice went cold, flat, like ice cracking. What if there's a fire? What if you're both in an accident? Someone responsible needs access to the house. Someone responsible. Like I wasn't. Jake was right there. He looked up from the box he was opening and nodded at me. Just give her one. So I did. Mistake number 1. But I didn't know that yet. For 3 weeks, nothing happened. I actually started to relax. Started to think maybe Diane would respect our space. Then I came home early from work. Migraine. The kind that makes light feel like knives. I just needed to lie down in the dark. The front door was unlocked. I pushed it open slowly, my stomach tight, heart pounding in my ears. Hello? Noise from the kitchen, cabinets opening and closing. Something glass clinking against something else. I walked down the hallway, each step careful, quiet. Diane stood at my open pantry, pulling out cans. My cans, boxes of pasta, bags of rice. Everything was spread across my counter like a grocery store explosion. What are you doing? She jumped, actually jumped, hand to her chest. Oh, Nora, you scared me. She laughed, light, breezy, like this was normal. I didn't expect you home so early. What are you doing, in my house? I'm organizing your pantry, sweetie. It was a mess. She gestured at my counter, covered in my food. See? I'm arranging everything by category. Canned goods here, dry goods there, spices alphabetized. Yeah, I didn't ask you to do this. You shouldn't have to ask. I'm family. She turned back to the pantry, kept working. Your grandmother's. Jam was expired, by the way. I threw it out. That hot sauce from your dad, too. The bottle was sticky. My grandmother died last year. That jam was the last jar she ever made. I'd been saving it. But I didn't know yet that this was just the beginning. You threw away my grandmother's jam? It was expired. It was mine. My voice cracked. You don't get to come into my house and throw away my things. Nora, honey, you're being dramatic. She said it so calmly, so reasonably, like I was the crazy one. I'm helping you. Someone needs to, clearly. Get out, she blinked. Excuse me? Get out of my house, right now. But I'm not finished. I don't care. Get out. She put down the can of tomatoes she was holding. Slowly, her eyes went cold. Dead fish eyes. I'm trying to help you. You clearly can't manage a household on your own. This place is my home, not yours. You don't get to walk in whenever you want and reorganize my life. I have a key. For emergencies, this is not an emergency. Your husband gave me that key. My son gave me that key. If you have a problem with it, take it up with him. She left. But not before putting the can of tomatoes back in the wrong spot. On purpose, making sure I saw her do it. I called Jake, hands shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone. Your mom was in our house. She organized my pantry. She threw away my grandmother's jam. She what? She let herself in. She went through our food. She threw things away without asking. Silence on the other end. Then, I'll talk to her. Jake, I'll talk to her, Nora. She probably didn't realize. She knew exactly what she was doing. But he didn't get it. Didn't want to get it. That night at dinner, he barely mentioned it. Just a quick mom, maybe call before coming over next time, okay? Diane smiled, patted his hand. Of course, you sweetie. 2 weeks later, I came home from the grocery store, arms full of bags, fumbling for my keys. The door swung open before I could unlock it. Diane, in my living room. My furniture pushed against different walls. My couch, the one I'd saved 6 months to buy, was in the wrong spot. Heavy scrape marks on my hardwood floor. My grandmother's quilt folded in a corner, the one she'd made me before she died, with my name stitched in tiny letters, replaced by throw pillows, ugly beige ones with gold tassels. My bookshelf rearranged, not by color anymore like I'd had it, by alphabet. The framed photos of my family, my parents, my sister, moved to a side table, facing the wall. In their place, photos of Jake as a baby, Jake as a kid, Jake and Diane, Jake's family. No room for mine. What did you do? My voice came out wrong. Too high. Too thin. I redecorated. She beamed, proud. The furniture flow was all wrong. Now the energy can move properly through the space. You moved my couch. You scratched my floor. Oh, that'll buff out. She waved her hand, dismissive. The important thing is that it looks so much better now, don't you think? No, I don't think. I think you broke into my house. I didn't break in. I have a key. And rearranged my furniture without permission. Nora, she stepped closer. Someone has to help you. You're clearly overwhelmed. Between work and trying to keep up this house, you don't have time to make it look nice. That's why I'm here. I don't want your help. Well, you need it. She picked up her purse. Jake gave me his key, by the way, so I don't have to use yours anymore. Isn't that thoughtful of him? She left. I stood in my rearranged living room, in my own house. That didn't feel like mine anymore. Jake came home, saw the furniture. His face went carefully blank. You knew, I said. You knew she was coming over. She asked if she could help decorate. Help? She moved everything, without asking me. It's just furniture. It's my furniture, in my house, that I bought. Nora, you're being dramatic. That word again. Dramatic. Like my feelings didn't matter. We fought, really fought, voices raised, doors slamming. He slept on the couch, the wrongly placed couch his mother had moved. The next morning, I did something I should have done weeks ago. I called a locksmith. I need every lock changed. Front door, back door, side door, garage. All of them. That'll run you about $700, ma'am. I don't care. How soon can you come? Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Perfect. I didn't tell Jake. Didn't ask permission. Just did it. When the locksmith arrived, Jake was still asleep. The drilling woke him up. What's going on? Changing the locks? What? Why? Because your mother has a key. Had a key. And she keeps letting herself in. Nora, that's my mother. And this is my house. Our house. She doesn't get to come in whenever she wants. You can't just cut her out. Watch me. New locks, new keys. Shiny and perfect and mine. I gave Jake one key, kept the other. Told him if he gave it to his mother, we were done. He looked at me like I was a stranger. For 3 days, my phone stayed quiet. No calls from Diane. No surprise visits. I started to breathe again. Then my phone buzzed. Motion alert. Front door camera. I'd installed security cameras the same day as the locks. Jake thought I was paranoid. Maybe I was. But I was also right. I opened the app on my phone. Diane, standing at my front door, key in her hand. Not Jake's key, he still had his. A different one. I watched her try to unlock the door. The key didn't fit. She jiggled it, tried again, turned it the other way. Nothing. Her face changed. Confusion, then anger. She walked to the back door, tried again. Same result. Side door, same thing. She tried every door, every single one. Tested each lock methodically, carefully, like she was looking for a weakness. Then she stood in my driveway, looked directly at the camera, and smiled. Not a nice smile, a knowing smile, like she'd figured something out. She got in her car and left. I sat on my couch, still in the wrong spot, I hadn't moved it back yet, and stared at my phone. She'd made a copy. Of course she had. That's when I realized this wasn't going to end. Not unless I made it end. I texted Jake the video. Your mother just tried to break into our house with a copied key. He called immediately. What? Watch the video. She tried every door, with a key that doesn't work anymore. I heard him breathing on the other end. Heard the silence where his excuses usually lived. I'll handle it, he finally said. How? I'll call her. I'll tell her. Tell her what? That she can't break into our house? Jake, she copied the key after we told her not to come over. I know it looks bad. It doesn't look bad. It is bad. That night, he called her. I heard him from the living room, his voice raised, hers raised higher, crying. Always crying when she didn't get her way. You're keeping me from my son. No one's keeping you from anyone. She is. She's turned you against me. I'm your mother. Jake came back into the room, face gray, exhausted. She swears she didn't make a copy. I have it on video. She says that was the original key, that she was just checking if it still worked. Jake, she tried every door. That's not checking. That's trying to get in. What do you want me to do? I want you to choose me. He looked at me. Really looked at me. And for a second I thought he would, but he didn't. I can't just cut off my mother. I'm not asking you to cut her off. I'm asking you to set boundaries, to tell her she can't come over without calling first. She won't agree to that. Then that's her problem, not yours. But it was his problem, because he couldn't say no to her, couldn't disappoint her, couldn't choose his wife over his mother. And that's how we ended up in Dr. Walsh's office 3 weeks later, sitting on opposite ends of a gray couch that wasn't half as comfortable as it looked, trying to explain to a stranger why our marriage was falling apart. A woman named Dr. Walsh. Kind eyes, soft voice, the kind of person who made you want to tell the truth. What brings you in today? Jake talked about me being controlling, about me cutting his mother out of our lives. I talked about boundaries, about feeling unsafe in my own home, about his mother having more say in my house than I did. Dr. Walsh listened, nodded, made notes. Then she looked at Jake. "Who comes first?" she asked. "Your wife or your mother?" Simple question, impossible answer. Jake stared at his hands, picked at his cuticle. The clock on the wall ticked. 30 seconds, a minute, 2. "I shouldn't have to choose," he finally said. "But you do," Dr. Walsh said gently. "In a marriage, your spouse becomes your primary family. Your parents become extended family. That's the healthy order. My mother isn't extended family, she's my mother. And Nora is your wife. I know that. Do you?" Dr. Walsh leaned forward. "Because from what Nora's described, your mother has more access to your home than she does. More say in how it's organized. More authority over the space. Is that the dynamic you want in your marriage?" Jake didn't answer. We went to 3 more sessions. Each time, the same question. Each time, the same non-answer. He couldn't choose me, and I couldn't live like that. 2 months later, Jake moved out. Packed his things while I was at work. Left a note on the kitchen counter. "I need space. You made me choose, and that's not fair. I'll call about the house." "No. I love you. No. I'm sorry. Just blame." I sat in the empty house that night. Looked at the furniture still in the wrong spots. The holes in the wall where Diane had moved the TV. I could fix them, paint over them, move everything back. But some things once broken, stay broken. We're separated now. Divorce papers should arrive soon. Diane won, I guess. She outlasted me, just like she probably knew she would. But I kept the house, changed the locks again, still have the cameras. And at night, when I'm alone here, I don't check over my shoulder anymore. Don't wonder if someone's been through my things. That's worth something. Maybe everything. Some people will say I should have compromised. Should have let his mother have a key, let her organize my pantry and move my furniture and throw away the last jam my grandmother ever made. But those people don't understand what it's like to be a stranger in your own home.